What's up guys? In today's video I'll be covering everything there is to know about mastering Valkyrie in Apex Legends. Now mastering Valkyrie is no small feat. She does have a wide range of abilities and certainly has a high skill gap potential. I will be briefly going over her abilities and then move into some of my favorite tips and tricks that apply to all skill levels of players. Towards the end of the video, I'll be giving you some more advanced techniques to be using Valkyrie. And if you guys are new here, just know that my channel centers around helping you guys improve at Apex Legends. But that's enough about that. Let's get right into this video. Valkyrie was first released in Season 9 and all things considered has been a very successful Legend launch. She didn't come out of the gate super weak, nor did she come out extremely OP like some of the other Legends. Yes, I'm looking at you, Seer. Her kit is fairly advanced and definitely has some skill gaps that you will want to pick up on and learn from this video. If you're a fan of movement Legends that can offer mobility for you and your teammates along with some offensive abilities, then this is the Legend for you. First, let's cover her passives. Yes, plural. She does have 3 passives technically. Valk is a recon legend, so just like every other recon legend, she does have the ability to scan survey beacons for the next ring location. Her second passive is the green tinted UI that she has when she's flying either from the dropship, a balloon, or from even using her ultimate. And this scans enemies with a green square up to 250 meters away if you are looking at them in your line of sight. Your teammates are also able to see these enemies highlighted. However, this scan is unique because unlike any other wallhack legend scan, enemies will not know they have been scanned from a Valkyrie. You are also able to see the champion squad and the kill leader from her UI. We'll talk more about this later, so don't worry. Her last and most important passive is her jetpack. I'm going to be throwing a lot of information at you regarding this passive, so listen closely. Your jetpack is bound to your jump button and you can either have it on toggle or hold. There is a setting in your settings menu that you are able to change it to. And so when you use your jetpacks, you will have a little green fuel tank icon on the right side of your screen. This bar will continue to go down with the more fuel that you use. Every time you activate the jets, you will consume about 12% of your total fuel. The maximum amount of time you can continuously use the jetpacks for is about 7 seconds. However, fuel will begin to refill 8 seconds after the last jet's usage. When the fuel is empty, it will take about 10 seconds to fully refuel your tank. 1 second will equal about 10% of your fuel tank. Now this passive is honestly the best part about Valkyrie because she can quickly reposition, especially in buildings or onto high ground or off of high ground. You are able to change your direction fairly quickly as well. The biggest weakness is the higher you fly, the slower the climb up will be. Your weapons can't be drawn while using your jets, so make sure not to get caught out too long in enemy's line of sight while using this. However, once you release on the jetpack, you have about a 1 second animation Valk will do with her hands before she's able to draw her weapon out. This means that if you are falling from a high distance, you have the potential to shoot enemies on the way down, but this will be fairly difficult in most situations due to the fact that you have a stunning effect like every legend when you drop, and it's just not extremely practical. However, in some situations it can work out to your advantage. If you guys are enjoying this video, please be sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. This helps the video out tremendously and only takes a second of your time. As a little token of appreciation for doing that, I'll throw in another clip of me skateboarding at the end of the video. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. A few more things to note about Valkyrie's jetpack is I prefer to tap the jump button. That way I'll fly, then float, and then fly again. And this helps make my movement a little more unpredictable than just flying straight up in the air and being super vulnerable. If you're playing Valk, always consider what sort of ways you can use your jetpack to constantly reposition in a fight. Good players are really good at doing this because it can confuse enemies and catch them off guard most of the time. Now having some map awareness will help you out tremendously while trying to do this, but just always be assessing high ground as well because in Apex, high ground is king. So make sure to use it to your advantage while playing as Valkyrie. Let's move on to Valkyrie's tactical, the missile swarm. This is where Valkyrie launches 12 missiles in a 4x3 formation and it will deal damage and stun enemies. The amount of damage it can do is 25 for the first missile and then 3 for each of the other missiles that hit them. It will have a stunning effect similar to an arc star, which can make this tactical really annoying for when you do get hit by it. Now I know you heard me mention Valkyrie can't have her gun drawn while she's using her jetpack, but she is able to launch these missiles while using her jetpack. This can make Valkyrie develop angles while trying to hit enemies in areas she wouldn't otherwise be able to if she wasn't flying in the air. It can also act as some line of offense while you're trying to reposition with your jetpack so you're not utterly helpless while flying. The missiles do take a couple of seconds to launch, so make sure you're not trying to use this instead of shooting enemies or something, because the damage is not going to do too much to them unless they are already really weak. Use this strategically. You can obviously use the missiles when you're not flying as well, and you can use them indoors, but it can be kind of awkward because you need vertical clearance. In other words, if the roof is too low, the tactical won't work. So if you do try to use this indoors, it needs to have fairly high ceilings for it to work. The minimum target distance is 12 meters and the maximum target distance it can reach is 100 meters horizontally. And this is regardless of elevation difference between the target and Valkyrie. Finally, we have Valkyrie's ultimate, Skyward Dive. This ability allows Valkyrie and her teammates to redeploy 180 meters in the air, very similar to using a jump tower. The cooldown on her ultimate is 3 minutes, and when you use it, there's a setup animation that takes a little over 2 seconds before she can activate this ultimate, so she can't just vanish into thin air with her teammates. Now, her ultimate can be cancelled during this setup animation, either if she takes damage or by pressing the ultimate button again, and if it is cancelled, the ultimate's charge rate goes down to 75%. This means you can't just try to use the ultimate, have it fail, and then immediately try to use it again. This factor makes it so that if you do waste time before taking off, there could be a penalty, and I always make sure to tell my teammates to be ready to use it before I activate the ultimate. And that way I minimize really any risk of us being shot and having the ultimate be reset. There have been times where I've tried to use it solo to develop an alternate angle on an enemy team, but I usually communicate with my teammates so that we can all swarm the enemy from different directions. If you are solo queuing and your teammates aren't quick enough to get to your ultimate, don't be hesitant to just use it for your own safety. Now, I'm not saying you need to abandon your teammates and fly halfway across the map, but using her ultimate for a micro or macro rotation is extremely viable, and I recommend doing so. And for you aggressive players, you can use it to scout more teams because of your passive being active while using this ultimate. And this makes for hunting kills very fun. If you're going for 20 bomb games, I recommend having a Valkyrie on your team or even playing as Valkyrie. So where does Valkyrie fit into the meta, you might be wondering? Well, since she is a mobility legend, she has a similar role as Wraith does, where she can be the point guard of the team, as I like to call it. Valkyrie can afford to be a bit more aggressive for the team because her abilities allow her to reposition and potentially get out of some hectic situations if needed. She can get in there, do some damage, and back up, have her teammates play off that damage, and rinse and repeat. If I were making a tier list, I would put Valkyrie in A tier for sure. She really does have some insane movement potential that I don't think a lot of players have tried to unlock yet. I don't think she needs any buffs or nerfs currently where she stands, which is an amazing spot for any legend to be in Apex. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll think about subscribing so you don't miss out on my next upload. That's going to be it for me though. I'll catch you on my next one. Peace.